Hello everyone, welcome back. I hope everyone is feeling well and healthy and ready to get moving. If this is your first time here, welcome. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for clicking on this video, and I hope you join me for the next many that are coming and for the previous many that have come. As you guys can see in the description, or rather in the title, today's practice is focused on advancing your practice and really challenging yourself to do things that maybe you haven't done before. Maybe you've tried them, maybe you haven't. So in today's practice, like I said, we're going to do a few things that would be considered advanced, and we're going to be generating some heat in the body. So please have your blocks and straps nearby. You may need them, or have a chair, or have a belt, or have a towel, or have a few pillows, whatever you need to help you. And yeah, so if at any point you get a bit tired, you feel like you need a rest, you're always welcome to just, take a child's pose, just pause, breathe, and come back. And remember, if it's cold where you are, remember to have your blanket for afterwards, for when we're in our Shavasana. If you haven't watched the tips on virtual yoga class, I implore you please to watch that before you start with this one. And then, we'll come back and we'll begin. All right, so with all that being said, let's get started. We are going to get started in Tadasana, in mountain pose. So we're going to start off with our sun salutation Bs, especially because this one really gets the heat going faster than sun salutation A. And then we're going to get straight into it. So first off, we start in Tadasana. So we stand either with our feet together or our feet hip width apart. Our hands next to our bodies, palms facing forward, and we're sitting up tall, the shoulders roll back, and the chin is parallel to the floor. You can have your eyes open or closed if you like. We're just going to start off by just becoming present, as always, bringing ourselves into the moment, into the space that we're in, having the mind and body in the same space and time. Just reminding yourself, I am here. And then we can bring the attention to the body. Just do a scan from the top of the head all the way down to the toes. Just checking through the body, making sure that we're not holding any unnecessary tension. Relaxing through the jaw, through the shoulders. Relaxing through the butt cheeks. And once we get to our feet, let's consciously ground ourselves. If you have any grounding ritual, you can do that. Or you can imagine yourself growing roots out of your feet into the ground, becoming stable. Breathing. We bring the attention out to the breath, not forcing or changing the breath just yet. Simply being aware of how it is that we breathe. The breath is often a helpful anchor in the present moment because it's the one thing that we're doing all the time. Let's start to deepen the breath now. So we inhale, expanding through the belly. And as we exhale, we pull the belly back in. And we collapse through the chest a little bit. So we take deep breaths. And we're going to maintain these deep breaths throughout our practice. So always coming back to deep, slow breaths. If you're familiar with your Ujjayi breath, you can start with that. And we're going to link our breath with our movement. So let's inhale, bring the arms up. Exhale, hands come down to heart. And now we begin. So inhale, arms up, and we bend through the legs, coming into our chair pose. Remember, we're not sticking out the butt, tucking in at the navel. Inhale, exhale, let's fold. And let's just take a moment here. Let's walk through the feet, or rather walk through the legs. Just loosening through the backs of the legs. Hopefully, as we repeat, we will be able to fold a bit deeper into our forward fold. So just now in the beginning, just loosening first. Breathing. All right, let's inhale, come up halfway. So hands on shins, flat back, looking up. Exhale, plant the hands. Let's step or jump back into a plank. Inhale, up in your plank, and we're going to come down with our knees, chest and chin, or you can come down with your full chaturanga. Inhale, pushing yourself up into a cobra or an up dog. Exhale, coming up into a downward dog, immediately bringing the right foot in between the hands. Let's turn the back foot. Inhale, bringing the arms up into our warrior one. Take a deep breath. Exhale, bringing the arms down. Let's step the foot back. Inhale, exhale, come down through our version of choice, and inhale up. Exhale into our downward dog, and let's bring the left foot in between hands. Turn the back foot. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, the arms come down, and we come back into our plank. Inhale, exhale, coming down through the version of choice. Inhale, up, and exhale into our downward dog. Let's take a few breaths here. So if you'd like, you can walk the feet here as well, if you don't feel that your legs have loosened enough. Otherwise, you can just stay still, or you can do any other movement that feels comfortable for you, that feels loosening for you. Breathing. Let's inhale, look in between the hands, bend the knees. Exhale, step, walk, or jump feet in between hands. Inhale, let's come up halfway. Exhale, folding. Inhale, we bring the arms up and into our chair. Exhale, up to standing. All right, now we're going to do it a bit faster. So inhale, chair. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, plant the hands, step or jump the feet back. Inhale, up here. We exhale, come down. Inhale, up. Exhale, down dog, and we bring the foot in between the hands immediately. Turn the back foot. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, arms come down. Step the foot back. Inhale, up here. Exhale, we come down. Inhale, up. Exhale, again, down dog, and the foot comes in between hands. Turn the back foot. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, coming down. Inhale, up here. Exhale, coming down again. Inhale, up. And we exhale into our downward dog. Take a rest. Breathing. Make sure you've got those palms planted. Let's inhale, bend the knees, looking in between the hands. Exhale, step, walk, or jump feet in between hands. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, we bend the knees, arms next to ears, chair. Exhale, coming up to standing. We're going to do it one last time. Inhale, chair. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, plant the hands, step or jump the feet back. Inhale, up here. Exhale, coming down. Inhale, up. Exhale, downward dog, and we immediately step the foot in between hands, turn the back foot. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, we come down, step the foot back, and let's just swap immediately to the other foot. Inhale, arms up, and exhale, arms come down, and step it back. Inhale, up here. Exhale, coming down through your version of choice. Inhale, up. Exhale into your downward dog. And once again, we breathe. Pressing those palms into the floor, pressing the chest towards the thighs. We push out of the shoulders, pressing the heels into the ground. Taking some nice deep breaths. Inhale, let's bend the knees, look in between the hands. Exhale, step, walk, or jump feet in between hands. Inhale, coming up halfway. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, bend the knees, arms next to ears. And we inhale, let's come up to standing. Well done. All right. Inhale, let's bend the knees, arms next to ears once again. We're not going to do it again, but we're going to come into our chair. Breathe. And then let's bring the hands down to the ground. Maybe we'll step the feet back. And we're going to come into an arm balance. We're going to come into our crow pose. So in our crow pose, we want our hands nice and flat on the ground, bringing the knees to the backs of the arms, so onto the triceps. And then here we're just gonna see if we can balance, maybe taking one foot off the floor and then the other. See, maybe we can take both feet off the floor into our balance. Breathing. And then from here you have two options. Either you'll come back down onto the ground, or your feet will come back down onto the ground, and then you'll just step the feet back. Or you can jump back. So you release the feet from your crow pose all the way back into a chaturanga. So let me show you. In your crow pose, and you kick them out and inhale up into our upward dog. Exhale into downward dog. Our downward dog is often a resting position. I know sometimes it doesn't feel like it, but we take this moment in our downward dog just to check on our breath again. We may have forgotten about our deep, slow breaths. All right, inhale, let's bring up the right leg, straight up as high as you can, breathing, and let's lean it over to the left side, and then let's bend through the knee, trying to get the foot to touch the opposite butt cheek. And then we're going to try to see if we can balance here. So this one is quite a bit of a challenge. So what we'll do is we'll bring the hands a bit closer to the torso first, and you can try to first just see if you can balance the hand up off the floor. And if you can, ooh, see, now I'm already falling. If you can, we're going to bring the hand all the way to the foot if you can reach it. Otherwise, if you can't reach it, you can wrap your strap around the foot and then grab the strap. Just try, see what you can do. Breathe. really challenging your balance here. And then let's release. Bring the knee straight into the chest, hold it there, breathe, bring it down to the ground and up, down to the ground, up, down to the ground, up, and let's step the foot in between the hands. And we're going to inhale, bring our arms up, but we lean forward. So we're not coming all the way up into our traditional high lunge. We're leaning forward. Breathing. Exhale, let's bring the hands down to the heart, and we're going to come into a twist. So left knee to right, left elbow to right knee. And then I want you to look down, take a breath, and then we're going to balance the back foot up off the ground. So now we're just having all of our weight in the bottom leg. And then let's bring the back foot forward and step it next to the other. And then we find ourselves in a twisted chair. Just check that the knees are in the same position. The one knee is not passing the other. I'm gonna turn so you can see what I'm doing. And then what we're gonna do here is we're gonna come into an arm balance. So if you're familiar with it, you'll try it with me. If you're not familiar with it, you can either try a different arm balance or you can just hold it. So we come from our twisted chair, we bring our hands next to the body, and you see how I have my knee by my one elbow and my hips by the other. We're going to place all of our weight on the arms and lean forward into our arm balance. Let me turn to the side so you can see what it looks like. So you're going to have your hands flat on the ground and lift the feet up off the floor. And if you like, you can try to straighten the legs. Breathing, bring it back, come back into your little squat. And like I said in the beginning, try, if you fall, it's fine. Just try, you have your hands on the ground and you just, one foot at a time, try to get it off the floor. And one day you'll manage to get them both off the floor. All right, coming straight back. So we were in our crow. Now we come straight back to our twisted pose. Straighten once again. And then we're going to have your hands on the floor. So if you can't reach the floor, you'll have your block or your chair or your pillows to give you that little bit of leverage. And then we're going to straighten this right leg once again. So we straightened the right leg the first time. Now we're straightening the right leg again. So now we come into our standing splits. So you'll have both your hands on the floor. If you feel up for it, if you feel you've got the balance, you can grab onto the left foot with the left hand and fold. Try to get that forehead to the shin. Breathing. We're all going to have a different experience here. Do what you can. Breathe. If you'd like to, you can bend through the knee here and again, try to reach for that foot. Breathe. All right, let's straighten the leg, come all the way back into a high lunge with the hands on the floor. And then we're going to turn onto our side, come into a side plank. So in your side plank here, you can choose whichever variation. If you're tired, you can bend through the knee, the bottom knee, or you can stack the feet, or you can have one foot in front of the other, or you can straighten the leg up into the air. Breathe. And let's come down into our plank. Take an inhale. Exhale, coming down. Inhale, up. Exhale, downward dog. And we breathe. All right, And then of course we have to do the other side. So we're going to inhale, lift up the left leg, bring it up as high as we can, up, up, up. And then we're gonna lean it over to the right side and bend the knee. Try to get the foot to touch the opposite butt cheek. And then of course we come into our balance. So we bring the hand a bit closer to the torso. See if we can lift it up off the floor. And if we feel we can do that, see if we can reach for the back foot. Now this is one that I find there's always some wobbles. But you just got to believe in yourself, believe that you can do it. Focus and breathe. And then we bring the hand back down to the ground, and we're going to immediately bring the knee into our chest. Inhale. Exhale, let's bring the foot down and up, down and up, down and up. And then let's step the foot in between the hands. And again, we inhale, come up, and we're leaning forward towards the knee. So we're not up in our high lunge, but leaning forward. Breathe. Exhale, hands come down to the heart. Let's twist. Breathing. And then let's look down so that we can find a point of focus, because we're going to lift up the back leg and balance on this front leg. Breathe. And let's slowly bring the foot to meet the other in the front, coming back into our twist. And we're going to do the other side, of course. So we bring the hands down and come into our arm balance. And just remember, if you're not up to doing this one, you can either do the other one, practice, or you can just take a breath here. We come back into our twist and we fold. So having your hands on the ground, so grab your blocks if you need them, or your chair or your pillows. And then we inhale, straighten this left leg now. Up as high as you can, and if you feel up for it, we grab the right leg with the right hand. Breathe. And if you feel up for it, let's bend through the top leg, see if we can reach for the foot. Breathing. And then we straighten the leg, come all the way back into our high lunge with the hands on the floor. And we're going to lean over onto the left side now and bring the right foot back. So remember your options here. Breathing. And then releasing into a plank. Take an inhale. Exhale, come down. Inhale, up. Exhale into your downward dog. Well done. Let's inhale, bend the knees, look in between the hands. Exhale, we're going to come to a seated position. So we're sitting having our legs long in front of us. Let's bring out the bum cheeks. And this is a pose where it really might be helpful to have blocks, especially solid blocks. So if you're replacing blocks with pillows, maybe try to see if you can get like really big books that you can have your hands on. What we're going to do now is we're going to lift up the legs. So we're going to come into rod pose. So you'll see for me, usually I come onto it with on my fingertips because I feel I need a bit more leverage. So it depends. Some of us might feel like we have arms that are long enough. As you can see, if I have my hands flat, my bum doesn't even come off the floor really. So if you feel you need that leverage, grab some books or some blocks. All right. So we're going to inhale, exhale, lift the bum up off the floor. And if you feel up for it, you'll either try one leg at a time or you'll bring both legs up off the floor. And release. Make sure that you're breathing. I've never tried it on grass before. It was a bit of a challenge, more so. All right, let's bring the back onto the floor, bring the knees into the chest, and then let's straighten the legs. And then either you'll have your strap around your feet here, or you can grab your big toes with your 2-piece fingers. Inhale, exhale, let's draw the legs towards us, and we lift the head up towards the legs. So the thing with this pose here is we want our hips to stay on the floor. So you don't want to pull the legs so that it can touch your touch your forehead. We want the hips to stay on the floor. So just try to pull the legs as much as you can, maintaining the legs on the floor. So this is sort of an upside down forward fold. We should feel a nice stretch through the hamstrings. Breathing. And then let's release, hug the knees in once again, and then we can just straighten the legs and come into our Shavasana. And remember, you always have the option of either coming to your Baddha Konasana variation or bringing the feet onto the floor and resting the knees on top of each other with the feet, the toes pointing inward. And we just relax. We made it. Well done. So as we relax in our Shavasana, we allow the breath to come back to normal. We allow the body to completely release into the ground, surrendering to gravity. And as the breath comes back to normal, we just bring our attention to the breath. Observe the breath, observe the air coming in through the nostrils and coming out. Observe the belly as it rises and falls with each breath. And if you find that the mind wanders away from the breath, that's totally fine. Simply acknowledging that the mind has wandered and gently bringing it back to the breath. If you're waking up with me now, you can start wiggling through the fingers and the toes. Otherwise, hit pause. And let's flop the feet side to side, flop the head side to side. Let's bring up the knees and we turn over onto our one side and push ourselves up when we feel ready. Coming into our seated position. Let's just give ourselves a moment to come back. Let's bring the hands to the sides. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, hands come down to the heart. And we do it again. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands come down to the heart. And one last time. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands come down to the heart. Take this time to reflect back on an intention if you set one. And to thank yourself for dedicating this time to your mind and to your body. I thank you so much for joining me. Namaste. Thank you guys so much. I hope you really enjoyed this one. And if you didn't manage to get everything where you wanted to get it, there's no worries. That's why yoga is called a practice. We practice and practice and practice until we get it. For a lot of these things, it took me months. But you know, when you eventually get it after the dedicated practice and commitment, it's very exciting. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, leave a comment down below and I can make another one if we get enough leverage to do that. Also, please give this a like to really help the channel grow, help, you know, whatever they do in the YouTube office. Please subscribe, because you know we've got another one coming every week. And yeah, I appreciate all of you, and I hope you have a lovely rest of your week.